Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to attend this special webinar on the magic of Eastern Europe with Senior Discovery Tours featuring guest speaker Neil MacTavish. My name is Brianne, and I'm the branch manager of our London, Ontario office of Senior Discovery Tours. I have had the great pleasure of working for Senior Discovery Tours for the past 17 years. In that time, I have been fortunate enough to have been to 6 continents, 18 countries, and countless cities and villages and towns. Please note that everybody has been muted. There will be a question and answer period at the end of Neil's presentation. Should you have any questions at any time, please enter them into the Q&A section at either the bottom or the top of your screen, depending on your device. Today, we have a surprise. One lucky attendee is going to win a $100 gift certificate for future travel with Senior Discovery Tours. At the end of the presentation, I will ask a question based on the webinar, and the first person to put the correct answer in the Zoom chat will be the lucky winner. Please stay tuned for this exciting opportunity. On our agenda today, we will briefly discuss our updated health and safety regulations in relation to COVID-19 and some of our exciting new rewards programs. Present our guest speaker, Neil MacTavish, who will take us on an incredible journey around Eastern Europe. There will then be a question and answer period. After the Q&A, we will outline our many tours and what makes us so unique. So for anyone who is new to Senior Discovery Tours, please stick around. We are now going to outline our health and COVID-19 protocols and our new Discovery rewards. For those who attended our last webinar, this may be a repeat. Feel free to grab a coffee and come back in about 3 minutes. First, a little about us. Senior Discovery Tours is the largest Canadian tour operator specializing in fully escorted worldwide group tours for the mature traveler since 1975. We now offer over 200 tours and cruises, all with interesting itineraries, flexible pricing, great value, and quality. The health and safety of our clients and staff are of the utmost importance, and we are delighted to report that we have been awarded the Safe Travel Stamp by the World Travel and Tourism Council. We anticipate there will be a vaccination certificate necessary for any travel to a foreign country and possibly even to board an aircraft. These regulations will be outlined by governing countries. Vaccination against COVID-19 will be required to participate in a Senior Discovery Tour. Proof of this must be submitted to our office no later than 14 days prior to departure. We have updated our policy to ensure that you are covered for COVID-19 when traveling with us. Senior Discovery Tours is excited to launch 2 new programs, Discovery Rewards and Blue Sky Referrals. From exclusive travel items to discounts on future tours, this is an exciting way to get more out of every trip you take. Simply put, the more you travel, the higher your rewards. Another amazing program is our Insider Club benefits. If you are part of a club or association, we will offer a 4% commission that will be paid directly to the club or association. The best part is there is no minimum number of participants required for the benefit. To book a virtual presentation for your club, please contact us. You can now book with confidence and complete peace of mind with our new special cancellation policy. You may now cancel your tour up to 45 days for Canadian holidays and 60 days for international travel prior to your departure date, and Senior Discovery Tours will offer you an immediate full refund. Should Senior Discovery Tours be forced to cancel a tour due to government advisories, you will be issued an immediate full refund. Our international tours for 2021 and 2022 are now open for booking. To book one of these tours, please contact one of our consultants. If you are not currently on our mailing list and would like to be, please subscribe on our website. Each season, we like to include new and unique, exciting tour destinations. Our latest brochure features these incredible new tours: Cuba, Off the Beaten Path, Barbados, Martinique and Guadeloupe, Colonial Treasures of Mexico, Hidden Gems of Mexico, Wellness Yoga Retreat in Costa Rica, Argentina, Buenos Aires and Mar del Plata, Wonders of Ancient Egypt, and Wonders of Thailand. Now on with the program. We will be joined by one of our expert tour managers, Neil MacTavish. Neil is an adventurous retired teacher who has been a lifelong traveler. He has traveled throughout North America, but has also visited exciting exotic locations such as Hong Kong, Europe, South Africa, Iceland, and Southeast Asia. He loves to discover sites off the beaten path and especially enjoys meeting people and listening to their stories. In this webinar, Neil will show us some of the highlights of this outstanding tour and things you might expect to see and do in 3 of Europe's most elegant and oldest countries. There will also be an opportunity to ask Neil questions about this tour and the places we visit. He is excited to share his passions for travel with you. Hi, Neil. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, Brianne. It's a beautiful day here in Budapest.
Yeah, I can see.
I guess we'll get going. So, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Neil MacTavish, and I'm broadcasting today from the top of Gellert Hill in Budapest. And as Maxwell Smart might say, would you believe I'm sitting in a walk-in closet in Southern Ontario? In this video, we begin our wonderful tour in Budapest. As you can see, it's architecturally stunning, and it's the historic capital of Hungary. Budapest today is perhaps the most exciting commercial, cultural, and entertainment center in Eastern Europe. Majestic bridges span across the Danube River, linking Buda's medieval grandeur with Pest's magnificent 19th century buildings. What you're seeing right now is a view of the Danube River, and there is the hotel that we stay at when we're in Budapest, the Danube Health Spa Resort. Beautiful, beautiful hotel on Margaret Island. It has a therapy and wellness center, and there's the island to explore where there are walking trails, horse-drawn carriages, a little train, beautiful fountains, and even a zoo. Usually on the first day, I take everybody for a little walk to get rid of the jet lag. Now, the video you're watching is not meant to cover every aspect of the tour because you wouldn't need to go on it if it did. I try and highlight the most eye-catching. The tour starts on the top of Gellert Hill, where I'm not sitting right now, with a magnificent view over the Danube River and the city. We visit the Castle District by the Royal Palace, housing the National Galleries, and then stroll to the Fisherman's Bastion, as we're doing right now, with a visit to the famous Matthias Church. We drive along the Grand Boulevard, passing by the House of Parliament, with a stop at Hero Square. I don't want to give out too much, but we do stop at a very famous coffee and Hungarian pastry shop. You will have an opportunity to visit the historic market. I think I've taken the same pictures from the top of Gellert Hill every time I've gone there. You might notice in our pictures here today that the weather does change drastically and suddenly coming up very soon here, but it doesn't really. The video here encompasses several trips, and it's always beautiful, but not always sunny. I never get tired of the panoramic view from the top. And as we scan to the left here, we can see the Parliament buildings. And if you watch TV and you watch this particular company that advertises river cruises, they always show this big building here. It's the Parliament buildings. Now, those Parliament buildings, somebody asked me on a Rhine cruise once when we were going to be seeing them, and I had to disappoint the person, not one of our travelers, but I had to unfortunately tell them that those buildings are on the Danube, they're not on the Rhine. But oh well, I guess they'd have to come on our tour. I love the Great Market in the Hall, Great Market Hall in Budapest. It is the largest and oldest indoor market in Budapest and was opened in 1897. As I scan over, I see one of my favorite restaurants. I like to call it the BK Lounge, but the one reason I do show it is they've got a great washroom deal. If you buy a Whopper there, it's free. As you will discover, there are 8 bridges in Budapest. The unification of Budapest has been an important growth for the capital. And now with the 8 bridges combined to create Budapest, the city sits in an expanse of grandeur along the Danube. And if you're wondering which is Buda and which is Pest, if you think of Buda as having a big belly, that's the Buda side, the one that has the hills. The flat is Pest. Now, you do get a day of leisure on this tour. And if you're feeling adventurous, I always ride this subway whenever I go. It's the second oldest subway in Europe, only after London. It was completed in 1896 and takes you up to Hero Square and a little bit beyond. But you can see the cars look kind of fun. The station is neat. It's right near that pastry place, so if you want to go again, it's there. Now, the video you're watching is a drastically edited version of trips I've recorded. And if I was a historian, I'd be able to tell you all the history, but we have great guides that accompany us. And those guides know every little bit of history there is to know. Personally, I'm a geography buff. I love architecture, landscapes, rivers, and beaches, which there's not too many of. And we do have fun nights out. And although the cities are the highlight, we do venture beyond. And as you will see, much of this tour and probably in more detail, some of the video that you're looking at right now is along the Danube Bend, and Hungary's Catholic Church, the head of it in Esztergom is shown here. We also visit a fantastic restaurant that sits high above the Danube, offers excellent views and food. On this particular day, we do visit a little town with a cobble square that offers shopping, which everybody loves. However, for the non-shoppers, you can sit in the square up at the top, have a cold beer or coffee or whatever you wish, and let the shopping half or both of you go on shopping. Now, our company offers a fantastic Danube cruise, but if you're a little bit more adventurous and ready to walk a little bit more, we do see things in much greater detail. If you were watching, you would eventually see one of the cruise boats come right along here as it passes here. Now, coming up, we'll also be viewing some of the night activities. But first, here's the view from that restaurant I was telling about. And I know I can't show you really fast or go back. There was a castle, excuse me. But anyways, night activities, there's fountains within walking distance of the hotel that we're staying at. And on the last night, we do go on a beautiful boat ride. Now, I can't really capture it really well because it's a little tricky with my cheap cameras trying to get great detail at night, but this gives you a little bit of an idea, and you might as well go for yourself and see what it's like. Now, after we leave Budapest, we head to Vienna, and I'd really like to just beam you there, but I'm Scottish, but not Scotty. So we take what I like to refer to as not a deadly bus ride. We go to 2 cities, Győr, known as the City of Waters, and the capital of Slovakia, which is Bratislava, which is where we are right now. Now, oh, there's that tram that comes by. You have about like 15 seconds to cross the road before the tram, but notice here that there are cobblestones, and we do walk up and down stairs, so make sure you have appropriate footwear. High heels will not cut it here. and also the weather. The tour is offered in the spring and the fall, and I can honestly say there are many pluses to either of the seasons. For the most part, the weather is good both times. You've got this, the spring flowers coming out, and in fall you get some of the colors. In our city tour of Vienna, which is coming up shortly, shows us the Opera House, Hofburg Palace, and many other grand buildings and monuments built when Vienna was the capital of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. I've tried to label things on the main things on the video there so you'd have an idea. We also go to Schönbrunn Palace with its 440 rooms and magnificent interiors. The Grand Gallery is where Mozart gave his first royal concert, and there's a picture of him as a little boy sitting there. In the evening, we dine at the palace, followed by a concert performance of the works of Mozart and Strauss in the Palace Orangery. Now, this might be a good time just to mention the hotels as we're looking here in Vienna. In Budapest, I showed you the one on the Danube. It's just gorgeous. In Vienna, we stay at a hotel that's about 20 minutes from this area that we're looking at right now, and 20 minutes walking. Now, part of the reason we don't stay in the center is because large buses aren't allowed in the center of some of these European busy spots. So what we're able to do from our hotel in Vienna, there's a tram that's 6-minute walk. There's a subway that's 5-minute walk. There's taxis that go by all the time. And our bus is able to park directly behind the hotel so that when we leave the hotel on the second day and head to the Vienna Woods, it's very easy. It's a 1-minute walk around to the back of the hotel. Driver lets us in, guide meets us in the hotel, and off we go. Now, some of these videos will show some construction that's taking place, but most of the construction is being completed by this time. On my last tour there, most of it was. So on day 2, we go to the Vienna Woods. We see the 12th century Cistercian Abbey, former Imperial Hunting Lodge in Merling. And before returning to Vienna, we enjoy a special dinner with musical entertainment and wine and some fantastic food. And it's all in a little wine village. Part of the fun thing is watching the bus driver try and wind his way through the village. We've been successful each time. Your last day is at your leisure. You have a chance for an optional tour. The best one probably is to the Abbey of Melk, and you get that information very early. This also involves a trip down the Danube. So when we depart Vienna, we drive to the UNESCO World Heritage City of Český Krumlov. It's not a long drive, but sometimes traffic patterns do wreak a little havoc, but we have a booked lunch when we get there. And as you can see, it's a picture postcard, beautiful, fortified medieval town. Our walking tour will take us through the historic center of narrow cobblestone. Oh, there's the cobblestone again. Winding along romantic nooks, abundant with lively shops, cafes, and museums. We have great guides in this town. I've had the same ones every time I've gone, and it's a husband and wife team, fairly young, and they both do a great job. They live right in the town. Their kids go to school there. They're interesting to listen to. The pictures really don't do this justice. You have to be there. Now, if it looks like we're flying right now, we are. When laws allow it, I sometimes pack my friendly drone, I call Mike, after Mavic Mike, and send him up for a little look. The views you're seeing right here of downtown Old Prague, but also we're on a funicular. You can see it right here. The Pink Hotel is not where we stay. We stay at the top of the funicular, and we have easy access to the main streets and also the efficient metro system. The hotel sits high on a hill. It's surrounded by parkland, so it's great for a walk. And as I said, you can easily get down to the street level by taking the funicular, and then we're a short walk to just about anything you need. Once again, as we're walking here, you don't see the bus trailing behind us because in Prague, they don't allow the tour buses to get right down into the heart of it. The nice thing is because it all sits on a hill, and here we are in the Prague Castle area, is that we get dropped off at the top and we start our walk down. There's not too much uphill walking. And at the end of our walk, the driver arrives at an area just outside the pedestrian area, picks us up and takes us to wherever our next stop is going to be. By looking at this video, you can get an idea of the terrain that we're walking. In terms of pace, we don't move slowly. I like to look at it as reasonable and comfortable. Now we're looking at the stunning sights of the Castle District, the majestic St. Vitus Cathedral, the Loreto Chapel, known for its incredible wooden staircase. And then we go down Golden Lane, which is named after the goldsmiths who lived here in the 17th century. They tried to turn metals into gold. If I had known them and they had been successful, I would be rich, but I don't think they were successful. Now, the second day tends to blend into the first. So where we got dropped off on the first, or at the end of the first day, we're dropped off, or we're picked up at the end of the first day. We're dropped off on the second day, and we continue across the Charles Bridge to lesser towns, winding narrow streets where we see the artisan houses, small 17th century palaces, the Jewish ghetto, and the famous astronomical clock. In the video, it shows the clock under repair. I can tell you that it has been fixed. And on the last day of my last tour here, I did manage to get a picture and watch them take some of the scaffolding down. Now, there is a little segment here of when the clock strikes 1. And if you're wondering where the rooster is, it's at the very top in the first frames, and it's golden colored. However, I told the lady the rooster flies, and it really doesn't. But you can see here as the clock strikes and the people all taking pictures.
See the skeleton? Yeah, I'm always looking at
right at the top.
Skeleton's better.
The guy on the left is his movie. And in the window. Oh, look at all of them.
And then watch that rooster fly away at the end.
Oh,
at the
you're
top.
kidding.
Oh, yeah. It spreads.
Oh, don't laugh. This is stupid. And the doors are closed. Watch.
Watching for the rooster?
If that lovely lady is watching, I apologize. On our final day, we're once again at our leisure. You have a chance to revisit Little Town and some of the quaint shops. I'm told that crystal and garnet jewelry are the big purchases. You also have a chance to go for some people have gone on a lunch boat ride on the Vltava River. We're not on the Danube anymore, Dorothy. People watching is sometimes a fun activity. And what I tell everybody is if they can just save their energy for nighttime and go down, your tour manager can always arrange travel for you, but go down to the main square where it's all lit up. It is just gorgeous. And then watch the people go by. Our hotel, as I was saying, many restaurants nearby, pharmacy. You're 10 minutes away from anything you will need. And as most dinners are included, you don't have to worry about that. All your breakfasts are, and there's several lunches included as well. So even if you have to choose your own restaurant, it's very easy to do. And we get a little entertainment on the last night. And people get a chance to join in as well. Before we get there, though, this is going up to the Petron Tower, and the top of this tower is supposed to be taller than the Eiffel Tower. The problem is they take in the hill as part of the elevation. So the tower is really not that tall, but from river to top, it's higher than the Eiffel Tower. And it is beautiful. Well, here's a quick recap. I hope you've enjoyed the highlights that I've tried to show. There's something in this tour for everyone. The question I get asked by the office is, hey, Neil, do you want to do the Eastern Europe tour again? I always answer yes. The reason being, there are always new things to see in these cities, and I try to see something different every time I go there. The tour guides are amazing, very friendly, very helpful. Hotels are clean, very elegant, top-notch. And the people I tour with are always interesting. One of the reasons I keep doing this job is I love to hear the stories of people that join us on our tours. I hope that I will get a chance to do this tour again soon, and I'll see some of you on it. Thank you from my walk-in closet, and hope you have a great day. I guess it's almost time for Stump Neil.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you so much. That was an awesome presentation. I'm super impressed that you can get that all together while you're on tour. So that's amazing. Just to let everyone know, we offer the Magic of Eastern Europe tour in both spring and the fall. The next offering of this tour will be May of 2022. So please watch our website or brochure for further details on this tour. We are now going to do our question and answer period. So during this time, if you have any questions, please feel free to enter them into the Q&A box. And I will try to deliver them to Neil. So one of the first questions we had during your presentation, Neil, was about the subways and if they're close enough to get to from our hotel, in particular in Budapest, but I guess you could mention all of the countries if it's close enough to get to the subway or not.
So in Budapest, the easiest way to get off the island is by taxi. The next easiest is you walk 100 meters or so, and there's a bus stop there, and the bus stop takes you across the river, and the trams are actually more fun. There's a tram that runs right down along the river all the way back down to the market, but it's easy connections. The price is reasonable. You can get tickets, transportation tickets, right at the hotel, usually at the desk. When I go up and I say I want it for the group, they say, oh, we don't have them. But if you go up by yourself, they always have them. So one of the tricks. Now in Vienna, you basically turn right out of the hotel, walk up the street 5 minutes, and you're there, and you can get down there. And the same thing in Prague. Turn right, walk down to the bottom of the hill, and there's a subway line.
Awesome. Okay. And it's perfectly safe to do on your own or with your traveling companion?
Perfectly safe. Perfectly safe.
Wonderful. Okay. I just had another question come in. So they're wondering how easy it would be for a foreigner to attend some of the famous baths in Budapest during their free time.
I don't think the foreigner is an issue. Everything is probably translated into English at some point or another. What they should do is probably do a little research beforehand, and I'm picturing in my head where the baths are, and it's pretty easy to get to, and not that far from our hotel. But the hotel also has, I believe it's 6 pools, and they're all different temperatures. Ooh. Because they're a whole health spa. So you've got quite a few things right there, but the famous baths are easy to get to.
Lovely. Great. Okay. You also mentioned that we're going to Schönbrunn Palace, which is definitely a highlight for most people. So what would be the dress code there for the concert that we attend?
I like to wear shorts and a t-shirt, and they kick me out every time. So I usually have to go back to the bus and get what I would call nice clothes. So for the gentlemen, long pants, a reasonable shirt, closed-toed shoes. Ladies always dress up. There's never a lady on this tour that dresses down. So you dress very neatly.
Wonderful. Okay. And I guess keeping with the theme of clothing and stuff, I know there's lots of walking involved and stuff in this tour. So just how much walking is involved?
I'll have to be honest, there's a fair bit of walking, partially because the buses can't get into the heart of the cities. we try and most of the walks are downhill or level surfaces.
Mhm.
And I would say we might max out around 4 kilometers on some of the days.
Okay, so good walking shoes.
Good
and-
walking shoes, definitely.
Okay. And with the walking tours that are involved in this tour, if it rains or there's bad weather, will the tour still proceed, the walking tour?
I think I've done this close to 8 times, and we've never had to alter one of our walking tours. I'll pretend and say it might have rained a couple times, but have umbrellas or a poncho. That should be just part of the something. And I know the tour managers always monitor the weather. The guides monitor the weather, and they tell you in the morning, they say, Neil, tell everybody to bring their umbrella or put some sunscreen on, whatever the case might be.
Right. Okay, perfect. We had another question come in. One of our clients noticed that some people were wearing winter jackets and a few were wearing shorts. So what is the weather like here?
Well, the shorts must have been the fashionable people. I don't. The best way to do it is use a weather app before you leave home for those areas, and then you can monitor the temperatures. I've had it fluctuate where in the spring in May, it's reached the high 20s Celsius. I've never had extreme cold, so generally, spring weather and fall weather, but check for anything that might be a little out of whack. People always come to me when I'm in the airport at the start and they say, oh, the weather's going to be around 25 degrees for the next 7 days. And I say, really? And they're all set. So
yeah. So I guess layering clothes is probably best. Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Okay, wonderful. Another question we usually get asked as well is, can euros be used throughout the tour? Or do we have to change currencies?
If you're making larger purchases, it seems that they will accept euros. But if you're just going in to get small items in both the Czech Republic and Hungary, I've noticed they want their own currency. And the first day we're in the market, and there's a good exchange booth in the market. And I'm talking, $20 worth or 20 euros worth, depending what you want to use. And in the Czech Republic, there's ATMs just down the street that will give you a fair exchange and as little money as you want.
Okay, great. So if they were to pay in euros, say at like a market or something, would they get their change back in the local currency or?
Yes, there's a good chance that'll happen. If they make each vendor makes their own decision on what kind of currency. And I've even found that some of the bathrooms, I always have a pocket full of change, and probably I could be a millionaire if I recouped all the 50-cent coins that I've handed out and saying, here, have a great time.
Yeah. Somebody just asked if you still need money to use the toilets there.
Unless you go to the BK Lounge. Yes, most do. And the bonus with that is the washrooms are far cleaner for the most part than what we find in North America. And that's what you're paying for. But that's all over Europe. You can't avoid it. If you go into some restaurants and we'll suggest go in there, buy a coffee, use their restroom. Those kinds of things. So you can get away without paying, but you're going to pay somewhere.
Okay, good to know. How much is that usually? Do you know? Do you have a rough estimate?
Yeah, when I said it's usually half a euro.
Okay.
Somewhere in there.
Okay. Another question we had was, is English widely spoken and understood in each of these places?
I'll say yes. All our guides speak very good English. They have accents that go with the country they're from. I just love our Hungarian Jaja Gabor. And I tell her that. I said, if I closed my eyes every time, I'd be thinking Jaja was talking to me. So you have the accent to deal with. And for the most part, people do speak English. You have to listen carefully. If they just go, ha, and smile, then make sure you ask the question again.
Okay. Wonderful. And finally, a question about the meals. Are they, local meals mostly, or can you get North American food there? What are the meal? What should we expect there when we're having meals?
So anyways, and in this trip in particular, and you would know being a tour manager at times yourself, that you can order in advance, and we have menus, and the people select what they want off of the menus, mainly when it has to do with the local cuisine. In all three of the cities, you can get the meat and potatoes type meals, veal, chicken, local fish. Hungary, it's the degree of spice because they're big with paprika. But yeah, the food is, I said, if you're pre-ordering, you know what you're getting right off the bat. And all of our other restaurants, they pretty well have a large enough selection that you can choose what you want.
Wonderful. And they're all accommodating with allergies or preferences.
Yes. And that's something that the client would advise when they're booking the tour, to say that, that I'm vegan and I that's the kind of menu I want. And I have not found a restaurant yet that has not accommodated somebody with a special need. Wonderful.
I'll just see here if there's any more questions. One last question, since you're a techie guy, how do the electronics work over there if I want to plug in like my iPad, my phone, my drone, I guess, whatever I'm bringing along? How do I charge that over there? Is it just easy to do?
Yeah. So, and this is where, if we went back 10, 15 years ago, they'd be saying, make sure you bring your converter. You need a converter, and then you need the two-prong, it looks like that, the two-prong plug. All your electronics that have been created within the last 10 years all use both our power and the European one. You just need that adapter, not a converter, an adapter. Now, if you're spending a lot of time on your hair, and if your hair dryer is not designated dual powers, a converter might come in handy, because the first time you go use that curling iron, it goes, I've seen that happen. Not me personally, but I did witness it happen.
Wonderful. Well, thanks again, Neil. That presentation was wonderful. Sure makes me want to run there as quickly as possible. So hopefully we will get to see you on tour there soon.
Would be nice.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. We are now entering the last 10 minutes of our webinar. So please feel free to continue to use the Q&A box to send us any questions that you might have. And next up, don't miss our next exciting webinar taking place on August 25th, featuring Costa del Sol with expert tour manager Barbara Barty. Be sure to subscribe to our e-newsletter on our website to receive a free Zoom invite directly in your inbox. Stay tuned for details regarding upcoming webinars on our social media. If you would like to learn more about Senior Discovery Tours, please stay with us, as I will be providing more details about our tour types and inclusions, plus everything that makes traveling with us so exceptional. We like to take care of all the details, big and small. Just a few things we include on all of our tours are round trip transportation to and from the airport from most Canadian cities, all airfare and airport taxes, carefully selected accommodation, most meals, all tipping and taxes, cancellation insurance, health insurance while outside Canada. And the best part is all of our tours are guaranteed in Canadian funds with all taxes included, so there's no hidden fees. To further enhance your travel experience, we provide meet and greet services at Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, and Vancouver airports to help assist with your check-in experience. Tours fully escorted by one of our experienced tour managers. Expert local guides providing knowledgeable commentary on the history, culture, and customs of the destination that you're visiting, as well as any entry visas to those countries where it is required. Our optional services allow you to curate your own travel experience. We offer air extensions should you wish to stay longer in the country that you're visiting. Air upgrades to assist with the comfort of your flying experience. Waiting lists for those tours which are sold out, as well as roommate matching programs. Now on to some of the incredible tours that we offer. We have flight plus coach tours. These tours ensure you get the most out of your holiday. They're multi-city tours, which means more hotel changes and lots of movement, ensuring tons of excitement. Listed here are some of our more popular flight and coach tours. Just like the term suggests, these tours are best suited for those that enjoy staying in one location and exploring its surroundings. These tours are much more leisurely, allowing for time to relax and also enjoy excursions. Here are just a few examples. Next, we have our 2 and 3 center holidays. Focusing on 2 or 3 different regions or countries, these tours are excellent if you want to combine a couple of locations, but still have plenty of time to explore. Listed here are some of our more popular 2 and 3 center holidays. Another vacation type is our classical coach tours. These tours are perfect for those who do not care to travel abroad and wish to have an experience closer to home. Adventurous travelers who enjoy moving around while taking in incredible scenery love our walking and hiking tours. Imagine yourself walking through quaint French villages, along coastal paths, or by magnificent lakes while listening to expert commentary of your local guide. Truly a wonderful way to travel. Our rail tours are becoming increasingly popular, offering a completely different perspective and unique way of traveling. It's easy to see why. From the Jacobite to the Glacier Express and to the Rocky Mountaineer, there is no shortage of unforgettable scenery on any of these tours. For those wanting more out of their travel experience, think about our exotic destinations. They will be full of adventure and never-ending opportunities for discovery. These tours are sure to delight anyone ready for an exciting journey. And lastly, there's no need to pack and unpack several times to get the most out of your tour. You will have access to hundreds of activities and amenities, not to mention incredible views. Senior Discovery Tours now offers 30 different cruises in locations all over the world. Here are some of our more popular cruises. The time has come to ask a question for your chance to win a $100 future travel gift certificate with Senior Discovery Tours. The first person to place the answer in the Q&A box will be the lucky winner. The question is, how many bridges are in Budapest? We will now give you a few moments to enter your answer in the Q&A box. Once again, the question is, how many bridges are in Budapest? We want to thank all of our loyal customers who have been posting such wonderful reviews on social media over the past year. Please continue to let us know about your past travels and memories with Senior Discovery Tours. Send us any suggestions you may have for future webinars. You can also follow us on all social media platforms. These addresses can be found on our website.